It's so good to be back here on the mystical Monday. Dear friends, dear community, this is Katerina, and it is a Monday. And I woke up this morning feeling this really elevated energy, as if I was connected to the field of incredible possibilities. And I wanted to share with you this energy so you could feel it as well and you could connect to the miracles that come from that field of energy. So if you're joining me live, it's so good to see you. Hi, I think I see Stephanie. Hi, Stephanie. Welcome. So I used to do these live streams so much more often than now. And I used to do hour-long transmissions on different mystical topics. And now I host them um, just when I feel deeply divinely called to do that. And so many people are looking for the new ways to navigate current reality, right? The new way to receive support from the universe, the new way to receive inspiration. I wanted to share with you how I access that miraculous field and this topic of surrender from a mythic perspective, from the mystical perspective. What does it mean to truly surrender? Who do we surrendering to? Why do I call surrender beautiful? What surrender can open up in your life, because it is a portal. I feel like surrender is a portal that you go through. So, if you and I meet for the very first time, my name is Katerina. I currently live in San Diego, California, and it's been a passion for me. There's these themes of how do we live a life that is filled with creative fulfillment. How do we create a life that is overflowing with true abundance in all areas of life? How do we live a life filled with meaning? And I was on the search for my purpose since very early age. I was asking big questions. Why I'm here? Where are we going? What is the meaning of this universe? And since my mom, I was raised by a single mom living in Soviet Union before it was still Soviet Union at that time in Russia. Since my mom couldn't give me the answers to my big existential questions, I turned to books. So I'm an avid reader, and I just read, I just couldn't stop accessing deeper and deeper knowledge. And every book would open new level of understanding of reality for me. So I love sharing books with my community. I love gathering people for transformation, that I call them online workshops and classes. So I teach a lot online because there's just something truly magical happens when we exchange ideas, when we empower each other with fresh perspectives. You get lifted to the new level of seeing your reality. And today I want to share with you a very simple framework that can support you in anything you're going through in life. Whether you're going through big life changes of letting go of your entire identity, of releasing something that is familiar and safe, and you're being asked to stand in uncertainty, in unknown. You're being asked to start something new, and you don't feel confident pursuing that new perspective, right? This framework will empower you. This framework will help you access new levels of reality, new levels of miraculous. And it's a framework that helps us check where we at, no matter where we're going through. I shared this framework at my retreats and my classes, and it's beautiful and simple to remember. So there is 4 ways that we can experience our reality, our universe. The first one is where we all begin. We all begin in this level 1. And a level 1 where we only see this reality from the perspective, how do I survive right? How do I make enough money to provide for my family, to pay my bills? How do I survive? And at this level, you're really consumed by that thinking. You're consumed about how do I make it? And it is a level that is filled with a lot of work, with very little time, right? With very little time for yourself. And you're just trying to get through life. You're trying to make it. And eventually, you develop this yearning and the longing to experience something that is bigger than just survival. And this is where your spiritual journey begins, right? This is where your journey of what else exists out there. And this is why so many of us are drawn to spiritual path, because we want to have a higher meaning than just survival. So in this path, we discover that the universe around us is alive, intelligent, and highly aware of us. We begin to touch the living cosmos, right, through synchronicities and spiritual experiences. And we begin to discover the world of energy. We begin to realize, wait a second, I'm not just a physical human, I'm an energetic being discovering itself in this alive universe. So, this is the level where you are discovering that the universe is also working with you and for you. And it's an incredibly amazing level of reality, because then you're not just trying to survive, you are inspired to create. You're inspired to change your life. You're inspired to develop yourself. You're inspired to transform yourself. This is an exciting stage where we are just loving the process of growth, personal growth, self development, right? And it's a really powerful stage. We feel a sense of personal power. We read, we study, we develop skills, we develop our awareness. And then we find ourselves approaching another level of reality where we go beyond personal empowerment into this incredible field of receptivity, where you learn to allow the universe to move through you. And this is the stage where it's a really huge identity shift, huge personal transformation, because what used to work for you on the stage two, which is all about personal power and personal will and personal strength, so many things just begin to fall away, and you begin to be drawn to a more softer life, a more receptive way of being, right? You realize that not everything is always up to you. Sometimes things happen with all your good intentions and all your personal will. Life will redirect you, and life will turn you into a different direction. And you begin to realize that there's a larger forces that are a part of your personal destiny. And you're being drawn to this conversation of surrender of your personal will. You're drawn to this conversation, well, how do I weave my personal will with the will of the divine? And it's a really beautiful stage, because you are learning to develop your receptive self. And if in the previous stage of the stage of personal power, you were learning to develop your dynamic self, right? Dynamic self that had to go beyond the survival, that had to go beyond things just happened to me. In the third stage, you're learning to develop your receptive self. And this is through experience, right? Through kind of a trial and error, you begin to decode the quieter language of the universe that comes from within you as the voice of your intuition. You begin to be drawn to the language of dreams, to rituals, to symbols, right? You're entering into a different relationship of how to understand your reality from a more softer place. You begin to realize, wow, the less I ran after things, the more they appear in my life. And it doesn't mean that I get to be always passive, but it means I am learning to discern when to act and when to be. And it could be a very long stage of our development, of our spiritual development, right? This developing of our receptive self. And it's the way that I track energetically this stage, you transform how there's so much transformation about your energy that is happening. How you speak, your voice may begin to change, how you walk. You realize that you don't enjoy rushing places, you don't enjoy being late to things, you enjoy being in flow. This topic of flow becomes very alive. You say, how do I flow? Instead of waking up with a racing mind, thinking that I have 20 things that I need to finish before 11 o'clock, you wake up and your main thing is, how do I get attuned? How do I become so attuned that I flow through the tasks? So that's the difference between the second stage of a personal power and that dynamic, very solar, fiery energy. The third stage, you develop more yin qualities. And you're maybe a topic of receiving becomes fascinating to you. And you say, I've learned on the stage number 2 how to give, how to take action, how to move myself forward. Stage 3, I'm fascinated about how do I receive? Am I worthy to receive? Can I simply have an intention and then cultivate my receptive field and things just appear as gifts from the universe? Am I worthy to be given gifts that are unconditional? Well, I love giving gifts to others. What if the universe loves me just as much? So I love this stage of accessing our reality when we develop the dynamic and the receptive. And over time, what we're learning to do on the soul level, we're learning to live in balance between giving and receiving, between acting and being, between speaking and keeping silent, right? Between creating and between letting go of what we created. But this stage is not over, right? This is not the final stage. There's a stage number 4. There's a stage number 4, which is the most miraculous, the most exquisite, where you literally become an instrument for miracles to come through you as you. And this is the stage that is unfamiliar territory because you can't have a plan for this stage. You can't, you know what I mean? Your personality, your personal self, if it progressed through the previous stages of development of your consciousness, your personal self is being invited to the sacred curriculum of being the instrument of grace, being the miraculous self that you are. And you are so attuned to what the universe wants to create through you, that you don't need to have a plan for the year. You know that you serve divine plan. And every day you hear the instructions of the cosmos, of your higher self, what would serve the whole to come through you. It's a really profound way of being that is not, uh, I don't want it to sound like it's out of reach. It's actually, there's a lot of sweetness to this stage. There's a lot of innocence that that is returning in you. It's almost like you're going back to a state of being that you felt as a young child, where everything was possible for you. Do you remember when you were young? I remember 5, 7, 8 years old. I was such a dreamer. I was dreaming about seeing the world. I was dreaming about reading all the books that would fascinate me. I was dreaming about so many things, and there was no thoughts of limitation that existed in my younger self. Like, I was not infected by the beliefs of limitation as a younger self. So, in this state of consciousness of co creating with the universe and being an instrument of the universe, you find yourself in that way of being. You wake up every single day with the eyes of wonder and you say, I wonder what will the universe surprise me with today. I wonder how today is going to go. And at this stage, the stage of the miraculous, the stage of true surrender, it's all about your attunement. It's all about your alignment. It's all about your coherence. So at this stage of your relationship with the cosmos, you don't need a reminder to breathe or move your body or meditate or journal your thoughts. You just can't wait to do those things because they help you hear the cosmos. They help you hear the universe. They help you feel where the pulse is moving, where the universal flow is, so you could align to it. And this is the true experience of surrender as I am finding it now in my personal experience. So I am sharing with you the cliff notes from the path. And I would love to hear how you're discovering yourself in this level, in this level of intimacy with the universe. Because this is a beautiful way to see it. I just received it right now. It's almost the more alive is our connection with the divine or the universe or the great cosmos, the more intimate is our relationship, the more we trust it where it leads us. The less we need to know, the more we feel liberated in unknown, the less we are wasting our energy on worrying about the unknown, about being anxious, and the more we trust the inspiration that comes to us every single day if we just take the time to hear and to listen. So when we talk about surrender, every single spiritual tradition, no matter if it has a mystical pulse, it will have a teaching on surrender. And I was always curious, who do we surrender to? And what do we surrender? And why is it such a powerful choice? Because true surrender can only come from the heart. True surrender is an active choice, right? And I think about surrendering to the intimacy with the divine that I feel, surrendering to my relationship with the universe. It's so alive and I cultivate it every day, every morning. Every morning I wake up, I can't wait to talk to the universe. What does the universe want to tell me? I call the universe Divine Mother, because to me the universe wears the face of the Divine Mother, the primal creatrix. And we all exist in the womb of the Divine Feminine. And before there was a god, there was a goddess. There is a goddess, and the goddess gave birth to a god, right? So I call the universe Divine Mother. So in the morning when I wake up and I have my lemon water, that is the most powerful meaning of the day. And I come to this meeting and I can't wait to hear. And sometimes all I hear is the sweetness of silence. And sometimes I hear the singing of the birds, and the singing of the birds is actually a language of the universe. That's what I need to hear that morning. Sometimes I wake up and there is a rain, and I listen to the sounds of the rain, and to me, oh my goodness, the universe is talking to me, and the language of the rain this morning. What would it mean? Oh, the rain of grace, the rain of refreshment, the rain of magic. And you begin to, everything begins to become a language for you. And of course, none of this is new. What I'm sharing with you, none of this is new. Our most ancient ancestors used to call it the language of nature, the language of the soul of the world. And when we begin our day by listening to the most important voice, which is the voice of the cosmos, the voice of the divine, then we can never lose our way. Every day comes with a gift of specific instructions for you. Specific instructions, specific bundle of inspiration, bundle of guidance. And it's easy to miss it. If we wake up in the morning and the first thing we do is we pick up our phone and we give our attention to the screen, right? That's why my phone is on airplane mode when I wake up. But if we wake up and we say, I remember those 4 stages, levels of consciousness that I heard Katerina speak. And I want to be on that stage 4 where I feel I am in the field of the miracles all the time. Miracles are the norm for me, meaning I cultivate a state of being that anything can happen and something truly magical can happen any moment. And that state of being takes a lot of innocence to cultivate. Just spend your time with children and remember yourself as a child, right? So a lot of our work, as you know, when we on a level 2 or level 3, we are very interested in healing our wounds and healing our fragmentations, healing our psyche. The gifts of the healing work is your innocence reclaimed. The gifts of the healing work, spiritual healing work, is that you get new set of eyes and you see the universe fresh. You don't see the universe in a jaded, bitter, cynical lens. It's okay if you find yourself, if your energy is dropped and something happened, you lost your balance, you lost your awareness, but it's a very temporary experience. You don't live there. You know how to get yourself back, right? You know how to get yourself back. Temporarily, you start feeling hopelessness of the world. Temporarily, you start feeling anxious. Temporarily, you start feeling burdened. But you don't park and stay there. You say, wait, I know something different is available for me. I know I can shift my mind. I can connect on a live stream like this that is given freely, right? There is no charge for this. I can tune in and I can receive that reminder that I can see my world through the lens that I choose to see it. And that's where the true soul power lies. Today, in the conversation with a dear client of mine, we were talking about a new power that our feminine redefines with time. And we were both talking about, recently I've been talking about the gift of perimenopause. I am moving through this adventure called perimenopause. It's a biological experience, right? I can't be in denial of it. My body is shifting, my psychology is shifting, my emotions are shifting, but I can look at it as a burden, as a curse, or I can look at it as an adventure. And the way that I start seeing it as an adventure is I am learning to access new form of feminine power. And it's not a power of force, it's a power of flow. It's not a power of influence, it's a power of authenticity. It's a power of grace. It's a power of frequency that is so coherent, that is undeniable. So I'm excited to share with others how we can access this new levels and new depths in our relationship with Divine Mother, with the universe. And this relationship is limitless. It continues to shift, even though I named these 4 stages. There's going to be a stage 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. And you will find it. You will decide on the name of that stage. You know, maybe for me is that I'm seeing the stage 5 is I'm going to call it the dance. If stage 4 is I am an instrument, I choose to be an instrument for the divine. Stage 5, I am a dancer. I dance with the divine. I am a part of this great dance. And I love learning new dance move with the cosmos. It's never the same dance. I'm so grateful to be a part of the dance. Wow. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that profound? So, darlings, surrender, the gift of surrender is this renewed passion for life and renewed celebration of your life, right? Where you realize, oh my goodness, my dance is not going to be like any other dance. And we each have a unique dance, we each have a unique song, we each have a unique expression. And the beauty of that is where you begin to just love your life. You stop trying to get somewhere else. You begin to expand your heart. I read something so beautiful. I forgot where I read it, but something about every time we make room in our heart. And how do we make room in our heart? By opening it, right? Every time we make room in our heart, grace rushes in to fill it. I love this so much. Every time we let go of ruminating and judgment or resentment or, you know, the story that we're not enough or the fear or the worry of self-judgment, right? Every time we let go, we create room in our heart. But the universe absorbs the void so that room in our heart gets filled with divine grace. So entering the miraculous is living in the field of grace. Then you live to express your creative uniqueness, right? And darlings, the reason why I wanted to do this live stream because I felt the energy. I was like, I gotta do this live stream. I gotta share how incredible it is. But just yesterday, I was not feeling, I wasn't feeling well. My body was detoxing, was going through some physical symptoms. So I was like, I know, I'm kind of in the low right now. Well, I mean, I'm integrating. I'm going to rest up. I'm going to take it easy. But I know that tomorrow I'm going to feel a different energy. Tomorrow I'm going to feel this energy of all possibilities. I had a good night's sleep. Went on a run this morning in the neighborhood. And you know, it's incredible when you see yourself as an energy being. You're constantly in motion. You're constantly becoming something else. You're constantly developing your relationship with life in a new way. And there is so much grace in that you are never static. You are never stuck. You're never the same. You are new every single moment of your life. You're becoming new. You're becoming more and more of your true self. If you see that way, if you allow yourself to be that way. So I wanted to share that with you, darlings, because to enter the miraculous is to enter into a deeper, deeper love story with the universe. I love Divine Mother with all my heart. And this is the most important relationship of my life. Divine Feminine is moving through all of us, whether we call it my soul, my intuition, the feminine energy, whether feminine archetypes, but it's the field of transformation that's called Divine Feminine that is beating through all of our hearts, that is inviting us to change the lifestyle that is killing a lot of us, that is inviting us to change our relationship with time, change our relationship with productivity, change our relationship with our self-worth. And the Divine Feminine is here to invite us on this new relationship with life, the life that is more softer, the life that is not based on proving or hustling, right? The life that is based on elegant simplicity, the life that is based on spaciousness, self-trust, right? Community. And we all feel that beat, that invitation. And if we didn't welcome that invitation, life stripped us away this year. So many people went through major, major losses and like intense transformations, because the assignment for the era that we're in is to let go of what we no longer need. Let go of possessions that we don't need, let go of complexities, and work with more with this energy of spaciousness and self-trust and deep knowing that we always have plenty, right? Just really letting go of this paradigm that we don't have enough, we are not enough. That's why I keep sharing these clips on what does it mean to have true abundance? What does it mean to have true abundance? True abundance is a state of being. And my prayer, very consistent prayer, I ask Divine Mother to open my eyes to the abundance that is already here, right? It's so easy to focus on what's not here. It's so easy to say, give me more, universe. What if we adopt a new kind of attitude? We say, thank you for the plenty that I already have. You say, universe, all these years I was asking you to give me more. How about I humble my ego and I say, open my eyes to what I already have? And I promise you, it's a different kind of energy, because when you move with the attitude of celebration of what you already have, you feel like you have so much to give, to create, to weave beauty. And I've learned that, darlings, from my trips to the Andes. I felt really blessed with every trip to Peru I have taken, because to me, people of the Andes have this unique nobility that I haven't seen in other countries. And I am a world traveler. I traveled all over the world because I'm a passionate explorer of different cultures. Something I've noticed from people from the Andes, from Peru, is this nobility of spirit. You know, when you go through the markets and they sell their crafts, there is no desperation. They're not forcing their crafts on you. They stand with a sense of dignity. Like, look, like I invite you to look at my art. I created this art, right? And there's a sense of inner abundance because they're so connected to Pachamama, to the earth spirit, to the great goddess who feeds them, who provides for them. And whenever I travel to the countries that lost that connection, right, and including my country of origin, Russia, but Russia is just coming back to its pagan roots. But you know, I grew up watching people being so disconnected from the source, from spirituality. There's a lot of desperation. People are constantly feeling limited, the resources and opportunities, and it's this energy of sadness, like lack of opportunities, lack. So we always a choice. And true abundance begins with this realization of everything that's already planting in our lives. And you become an abundance alchemist. It becomes your life's credo. Maybe you realize at one point of consciousness of deep intimacy with the universe, you stop asking for things because the universe can read your thoughts. You stop even asking for anything. The universe is in your thoughts. It's everywhere. It's like air. So you begin to say, universe, divine mother, you know what I need. What I am asking is strength to be my full self, is courage to act on the ideas that you give me, is love in my heart to love my life exactly as it is. So you see there, your conversation with the universe changes. And if you're already there, you know the sweetness of that. You know the freedom of that. You know the beauty of that. You and the universe are one. And it's incredible if that is true, if there is truly one reality that nothing is in the way. My favorite expression, if everything is one, nothing is in the way. And when you really anchor that, you just first you walk with that. If everything is one, nothing is in the way. If everything is one, nothing is in the way. And you begin to live it and embody it. And when you embody it, you radiate it. It just radiates through you. And this is a possibilities, darlings. You know, it was so wonderful to be with you. I said I'm gonna do a 30 minutes live stream. Thank you so much for the gift of your presence. I am gonna go have lunch, and I teach tomorrow. I am a very, it's such a joy to my heart to teach this teachers training. It's in motion. We're in the week 4, and this is such a joy for me to pass on these tools to train this next cohort of teachers. So I'm excited to be preparing for my class. If you would like to experience any of my classes or courses, I have 2 invitations for you. I have a free community called Mysteries and Archetypes, and there's a whole section called free resources where I picked 5 of my most best trainings. They're all free. There's PDFs with guides. There's incredible resource library. And if you want it on Oasis, join us. The second invitation, if you wanted to go deeper into what we discussed today, I highly recommend a course that I have called Spiritual Rainmaker. And it's about how you become an abundance alchemist. I'm going to drop the link underneath this video if you wanted to check it out. It's incredible. And thank you for the opportunity to be with you. Thank you for watching this video. And may you have a week where you know you are unlimited because you are connected to a limitless universe. May you create amazing experiences for yourself. May you look at your life in sense of awe and wonder. May you see yourself in a fresh way. May everything you touch becomes more beautiful, right? May you bring a spirit of grace in every interaction that you participate, because then you create something so beautiful in the world. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So much love. I see you next time.